Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Flash Talk. This is about public policies and their role in either dismantling oppression or perpetuating it. So I worked with my wonderful authors, Ankita Arora, Christopher Jackson, and Celina Valencia. And we basically did a tertiary literature review to find out what were some of the tools that we can use to make policies more inclusive. Now, this may sound very obvious to some of you, but the reality there really is that public policies have been used as critical tools to not only bake in systematic racism into the systems. So if that is the case, we can use public policies to dismantle some of the social inequities, including systematic racism. So these are some of the tools that we found from our tertiary literature review. And I'll highlight a couple of those. One of those really is that really knowing your vantage point, where are you coming from? That's what we're calling positionality assessment. So being really self-reflective of our privileges and thinking about what implicit biases we bring into any particular process. So in science policy, this is very important insofar as that when we are advising in any capacity, be it the state government, federal level, executive branch, legislative branch, and so on, knowing what your biases are will help you become more informed when you are proposing a certain set of policies. Similarly, we should be focusing on performing equity and impact assessment, which populations this thing is going to impact the most, whichever policy that you may be proposing. And then some of the other key components that we listed here is the community engagement part. Far too often, people who already experience vulnerabilities are left out of the process. And part of that is that processes are just so cumbersome for most people to participate in an active way. So we are proposing that we make an active effort reaching out to populations who may be unable or unwilling for prior mistrust issues to participate in policymaking process. And one of the final things that I would highlight here is mainstreaming policymaking process. So really writing it for the broader audience and talking to them, engaging with them that this is a policy that's coming down. What are their thoughts on the issue? And there are a number of ways we can do so. And I think policymakers have a really strong role to play in this issue. So we should really be making an active effort to reaching out to broader population about the policymaking process so we can bring the most amount of people into the process itself. And then we live in 21st century, so it's about time we move past our primitive ways of approaching a lot of the issues, and we should be looking into some of the big data things as well as really tapping into technology for consultation processes. So this is a quick and dirty view of our project. And if you're interested, you're more than welcome to check us out at Journal of Science Policy and Governance, where we published. And I will hand it off to our wonderful chair of DEI committee with NSPN, Annabelle.
Hi, everyone. As Ans so wonderfully introduced me, my name is Annabelle Lalinko, and I am the co-chair for the National Science Policy Network Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, where the work done by Ans, Chris, Ankita, and Celina were housed. And so if you're interested in getting involved in our community, feel free to email dei@saupalnetwork.org. Our committee is interested in making sure our members' passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion projects and initiatives are met with actionable goals and projects that stem into science policy, science communication, and other efforts such as the one presented here today. So thank you for your time.